We know that fire initiates, earth stabilizes, air socializes, and water emotes. But why? Why are these elements communicating these themes? Fire is dry and hot. The dry component is coarse, it has texture. It crumbles if you try to work with it. It's inflexible. The hot component is pervasive, raw. It's all-consuming. Dryness occurs in the absence of life, and heat occurs in the presence of friction. So when you have a force that gives nothing back, dryness is like death, and you have a force that wins everything it fights, heat, you get the fire archetype. Dryness excludes energy. It's already at its most stripped state, while fire pervades everything. So fire people are very good at not letting things affect them while being very certain about how they aim to affect others. And that is the mark of initiation and leadership. Earth is dry and cold. We already talked about how dryness is like death. It excludes energy. It's the absence of life. And cold requires you to be insulated. Coldness prevents us from farming. We have to gather our last crop, pickle our veggies so that they can last for a long time. We have to stay inside and wait it out. Together, dryness and coldness create the least survivable circumstances, which is why the earth sign deals with survival and stability. They are the signs that in the harshest of circumstances can be the practical, resilient ones. The earth signs have to be prepared for the worst. Air is wet and hot. We know that heat is pervasive, inescapable, and alive. Wetness is changeable. Wetness needs a vessel or a surface. It is meant to eventually be absorbed. Air signs are not interested in contracting like the earth signs or becoming more singular like the fire signs. They're going to use their expansiveness to change themselves and change the world. Air signs are curious. They're not interested in something being one way. For wet and hot, think about someone spraying you with a water gun on a really hot day. You feel super refreshed. You feel very bright. On the other hand, think of a tropical climate. You're on your way to work. It's hot, humid, then it starts pouring. You got to get from point A to point B. You don't really want to be inside because everything is too vibrant outside. You don't really want to be outside because it's too uncomfortable. Instability and indecisiveness. Wanting it both ways. Lastly, water is wet and cold. So we know that cold is restrictive, internal, and inactive. And wetness is penetrating, moldable, and interactive. The internal component and the changeable component creates moodiness. The water signs got a lot going on inside. The water signs absorb the wetness of the world, but unlike the air signs, they don't have the heat to clap back. Because the water signs are cold, they hold on to everything. And the more wetness they accumulate, the more prone they are to drowning. The upside is that their capacity for holding the world's wetness is what makes them so emotionally available and empathetic. So to wrap it up in a kind of superficial bow, the fire signs are dry, which means they're concerned with themselves, and they're hot, which means they're extroverted. The earth signs are dry, which means they're concerned with themselves, and they're cold, which means they're introverted. The air signs are wet, which means they're concerned with others, and they're hot, which means they're extroverted. The water signs are wet, which means they're concerned with others, and they're cold, which means they're introverted.